every time we have to do hand DMC, I'm thinking, oh
Deep
my
sigh.
gosh.
The deep sigh.
Do I breathe in or out or upside down? Is there something like that? Inside out, upside down? Anyway, I have a very concerning tweet for hand DMC today. Brenda says, I think my mother is severely ill and I'm scared I'm going to find out when it's too late to do anything. How can I get her to talk? Guys, that's so deep.
Yeah,
A daughter's
It's actually
love for her
quite sad,
mother.
yes, because she's concerned about her mother. But what I find very sad is the fact that she can't not confront her, but like have this conversation
like
with
have the
with her mom.
relationship. Like the
Yes.
relationship's not there.
You know, it's always all about what kind of relationship do you have with your mother to start off with? Because
Exactly.
if you, as a young girl, were able to open up to your mom about friends, boyfriends, life in general, it becomes much easier, in my opinion, to converse with your mother and say, Mama, you know me, ne? When I've got problems, I come to you.
What's bothering
What's
you?
bothering you? Anything, know that you can. I know I'm a child to you. I'll always be a child to you. But talk to me.
Do you know what I find a lot of parents struggle with is meeting their children on that level of
Yeah.
just human being.
Seeing them as
and I'm
yes,
sharing
exactly.
what I'm going through with the next
Exactly.
person. And I really think just parents, shame, bless their souls, they really don't want to stress their kids.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and she's probably thinking, oh, I'll get through this on my own. Probably thinks that her daughter can't even see this.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can imagine it's very tough for the mom as well. I don't think she wants to go through this on her own.
Yeah.
But it's how do you break that barrier of what do we talk about, what do we not talk about? Is this going to be too much for this kid? We don't know if Brenda's in school. Is she working?
There is that moment in your life, or like as you guys say, that you get to that point where you start actually, your parents are your parents and you see them as
Yeah.
human beings, and they've made mistakes and they've also made right decisions and wrong decisions, and you know, they've lived, and you kind of have your own wisdoms and your own things that you've learned and experienced, and you try to kind of also teach, because they get to a point where your parents, like, they stop teaching you and you can actually get to the point of teaching them. And I don't want people to like go crazy or whatever on social media, but just think about it. Just think of different things. Think of something as simple as just helping someone with a cell phone.
Technology.
Yes, with
Exactly.
technology, you know. But you're teaching them, and for them to allow you to teach them is them also kind of accepting that, hey, my child is grown. Let
So you
them
think
help
she must
me.
teach the mom communication?
Communication, you know,
Yeah.
sit with her and say, listen, mom, I know something is wrong. I know there's a problem here. Let's see how we can do this. We are family at the end of the day. Let's see.
Sometimes it's about culture. You know,
Yeah.
sometimes it depends on what cultural background you come from. I mean, I grew up in Zimbabwe. I grew up in South Africa. You know, I've been all over Africa, and the culture remains the same in the sense that you cannot, there's things you can't really ask your mother or father about. And it just depends on how deep is your family into culture. So sometimes there's a hold back to say, this is not a question I'm ever allowed. But it goes back to that thing that you said, Jared, to say we can teach
Yeah.
our parents to say it's 2019. The times have changed, Mama. It's me and you. We are here together. I know about culture, but can you allow me at least to chat to you
help
about
you.
and to
Okay,
help
but
you?
I want to know this. Have you ever, and I'll start with you, Francois, have you ever approached your parents or gone to your parents about something that's pretty difficult that you knew that they probably wouldn't want to talk about?
All the time. And this is what I'm so grateful for, is the fact that I always had the opportunity to approach my parents with whatever difficulty I'm going through at the moment. You know, my mom always told me about, you know, she never had that very close relationship with her mother, because in that era, it wasn't a thing that you can talk to about
Yeah.
things that you're going through, like body changes. You just don't talk about it.
I think my obviously most difficult thing, there were two things. There's still constantly two things, but the one main thing was your coming out story. So mine was very tumultuous. You know, it basically lasted a whole year. And it was rough, you know, and they got to a point, eventually we all got to a point of understanding and respect. And I think that my parents kind of respect and I respect, and then you just accept and you realize this is, you know, these are my parents and we love each other. This is, and I'm their kid, and you know, that's how it is. So the family support structure, I think, is great. And if you don't have that relationship, I feel very sad for people who don't have that kind of,
Because who do you run to?
can talk to. Exactly. Yeah.
Now, this girl is saying, I need to know how do I approach my mother? How do I find out how I can help her? So now the tables have turned.
You know, I think the main thing here, and I know that we all see our parents. Our parents are the first role models we have. They're the first people that you look up to. How would you, and I feel like I'm the person asking questions here, but how do you feel approaching your sick mom? Because if you know that she's not well and she's ill, how do you start? It's very easy for us to say they need to start communicating.
Okay, but to answer your question, I think the perfect person to ask is Sophie, because let's take it the other way around. If you are sick, how would you like your children to approach
To
you?
kind of speak, yes, exactly.
You know, my kids, I think there was a time my daughter actually came home thinking I was depressed. I had my curtains closed, I was watching movies, and I was having the time of my life thinking, my space.
Peace.
I can breathe. That's me, right? But I'm cuddling in a couch, having a little blankie with popcorn and whatever, and she says, "Are you okay? You can talk to me if there's anything." And she literally sat next to me, and she thought I was faking it, and I said, "I am seriously fine. I just wanted my own space." She says, "Nobody at festive season, when everybody's out there, sits on a couch with a blanket and watches movies. People are out there having fun, doing picnics. Can't you do something like that?" And it really touched me, because at least I knew. I know my daughter, should anything happen, she will identify and she'll have a way to say, "I am here if
And
you
the
need
courage.
me." And she had the courage. And she knows I'm a difficult person to even just get things out. But she said, this closing of curtains, this,
Being in a
watching
dark
movies
room
in the
is not
dark
you.
festive season, no, this is not my mother.
So you would say she should approach her mom and say, "Listen, mommy, what is wrong? Can I help?"
Yes, because I think as parents we have a responsibility, as much as we have a responsibility to say we rule in our homes and we make decisions, but let's also encourage. You know how they say in a business it's an open door policy, you can come to my office, I'm the CEO, talk to me anytime. You're the CEO of your home, of your children, of the lives of your family. So be approachable, have an open door policy. Let your kids know that even if my son has pregnated a girl, he can knock on my door and say, "Mama, I have something to tell you." And he knows, look at my son. And he knows he can handle it. That's what it is for me. But that's our advice. Let us